Hello, you guys.
Hi guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode. I'm your co-host, Caitlin Wagner.
And I'm your co-host, Isla Nenad.
And we are Same But Different. Is it just me? Or do you feel like you're like in this period of life where you have absolutely no idea what's going on?
Freaking tell me about it.
I just feel like lately it's been one thing after another.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how to explain it.
I think it's just this period of life. I don't know what age group is listening right now, but we're in our early 20s, so quite a bit of things on our plate.
So much.
Some bills, some school, finding jobs, internships, moving out, moving in with people, like doing all these things, finding roommates. Like,
yeah.
I just feel like everything is bottling up a bit.
It is. Like, I was thinking today, like, I miss not being like that little girl. Waking up on a Sunday with that bird chirping in my backyard, and I just like lay there cozied up
in your house
and in my
house
stupid ass because I had a pet bird. Yeah, I had a pet bird. His name was Tweety. He was a cockatiel.
Long live Tweety. We don't know where you are now.
No, just like waking up on those slow days. Like I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do this today. I have to do this today. I have to do this. Oh my gosh, when am I gonna have time for this? When am I gonna have time for this? I'm like
waking up so early and you're like, I have work today.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have to worry about that when I was a kid. I just had to get up and ask my mom to make me pancakes or something. Like,
all I worried about was, what am I going to eat today? Like,
no, literally. What TV show am I going to binge watch today?
I know.
Like, really?
I'm in the mood for SpongeBob today. Like, iCarly. Good Luck Charlie.
Oh my gosh.
What?
This is, like, random, kind
of.
What is it? Because you said Good Luck Charlie, but recently in my car, I've been listening to the Hannah Montana soundtrack everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. And that is my favorite show growing up.
What's yours? What my favorite show growing up?
Yeah.
Good Luck Charlie.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, you know what soundtrack reminds me of, like, you? Or, like, your brother. You and your brother.
Oh, no. What is it?
The Greatest Showman.
Bro, what? What?
The Greatest Showman soundtrack. It literally reminds me of, like, you. Like, the This Is Me? Or, like, what is another song that your brother...
Oh,
there was a song your brother used to sing so good.
I literally loved that movie, and I would watch it every day.
And, like, whenever your brother would pick us up, like, from high school...
Oh.
It would be on.
Wait, was it for The Greatest Showman, though, or was it Aladdin? He really liked Aladdin.
Oh!
Aladdin and Moana soundtrack he liked.
Oh, it might have been that Aladdin song.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but he used to sing...
Yeah. What's that called?
Yeah, that song. I have no idea what it's called, but that
You Ain't Never Had a Friend Like Me.
I think so.
That one.
There was a part where, like, someone goes higher. I don't even know. It's besides the point, but that song reminds me.
Let me think of a song that reminds me of you. Oh my gosh. That one Carrie Underwood song. Good Girl. Hey, good girl.
You guys, we used to have FaceTime hangouts where we would have singing contests. Oh, my knees, like,
and keep in mind, this is not like a once in a while. This is every single day since we met each other until basically now that we FaceTimed. Like, our parents, like, they'd be like, are you on FaceTime again? And I'm like, yeah, we're having dinner.
Like, but no, we would have FaceTime calls where we would pick a song, we'd turn the camera around, and we'd sing the song, like, to the best of our ability. Like, we went all out on these songs. Do you remember that?
How could I forget?
They're so funny.
I don't know what mine was. Do you remember what song I would sing? It's probably like...
Why is it so hard to remember?
I don't know. Like a Charlie Puth. It was a Meghan Trainor song. It had to be something like that.
Any Meghan Trainor song reminds me of you, because that used to be, like, the first song that would come on in your car. Still is, probably, right?
All About That Bass. No, I deleted it, because I got annoyed. Now it's, what's that one song by John Bellion, or...
Oh,
Rebellion?
Nervous?
No, that's John Legend.
Oh, I thought you were going to say John Legend.
I do like that song a lot, though. Hold on. It's going to be the only song in my Apple library. All Time Low. John Bellion. Low. I cannot listen to that song ever again. But if I delete that, then I'm going to have nothing in my Apple Music.
Because everything will just play, and then you get sick of all of them.
No, all the other ones are deleted.
Oh.
Just that one's left.
Oh, because it's Apple.
Yeah.
Oh.
Spotify forever.
Yeah, guys, I'm an Apple user.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Stop his better.
But anyways, let's get into this
Yeah.
episode.
Sorry, little tangent.
But that's just like a little update on our lives and some fun memories of ours.
Mm-hmm.
Just to lighten the mood, but now we're getting serious.
You'll learn more random facts about us that just, like, I don't think anyone else, I mean, maybe we haven't had an original thought before, but Caitlin and I, no joke, would FaceTime every single day since we met each other. I don't even know how we made it work half the time. Like, I would go on my iPad, or she'd on her iPad mini, and, like, she'd be like, can you FaceTime my iPad today, not my phone, because I'm doing blah, blah, blah. Like, we would plan this out and just FaceTime. We would have FaceTime sleepovers.
So fun. I remember that.
Do you remember?
It was so fun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, no more tangent. Sorry. I just get off topic.
But yeah, now on to the serious stuff.
Yeah, because
you guys,
I've been a little bit annoyed lately, not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're gonna be so real with you in this episode and, like, the advice we're giving, because it's just annoying.
You're not going to want to hear it. I know
you're not going to want to hear it. No one wants to hear anything that they need to hear. Facts. And, like, everything that we're about to say, you need to hear, because you need to stop talking bad to yourself.
Exactly.
And you need to stop being so negative. And you just need to be... Okay, it's hard in the beginning, though, because once you're stuck in that mindset of being negative and talking bad to yourself, it's hard to kind of snap out of it, because that's all you're used to. Mm-hmm. And you literally train your brain to be negative. So you might as well stop now before you get too far into it, and then it's going to be harder.
Exactly. And not only does, like, that affect your mindset, but it affects other people in your life. And, like how I just said, I was a little bit annoyed earlier. Like, hearing people talk negatively about themselves and about their character and, like, what they want to be and who they want to be and all these things, and, like, they're trying to wish for these things that are possible, but they keep saying, like, oh, I wish I could do that. I wish I could be like this. Like, that is so irritating to hear. I know, like, that sounds so rude, but it's so irritating to hear coming from someone whose mindset has already been changed from, like, the not negative self-talk is so frustrating, because, like, the more you say that, the more you believe it. You are what you say you are, just like you are what you eat. Like, everything that you do reflects off of the type of person you are.
And I think it's so irritating sometimes, because, like, I'll be talking to someone and they're being negative and they're, like, asking for advice, and I give them advice, but they don't listen. And it's so irritating when I'm, like, trying to give them advice. I'm, like, sometimes I just want to be like, shut up and listen.
No, literally.
And do what I'm saying, because it's going to help you. But it's, like, it's just aggravating when people are just so negative and rude to themselves. I'm like, so do you want to fix it or not? Because you seem like you like the attention that you get from, like, talking about it.
Exactly. And I promise you, you're not going to get the attention for that long.
No.
Someone is going to give you that attention initially, and they're going to check out and be like, oh, I'm tired of being like, no, you look good. Like, no, this. Like, it's not going to last forever. And also, there's a difference between listening to somebody and hearing somebody.
Yeah.
If you're just listening, that's going in one ear, out the other. You don't really care. But if you're hearing them, you're taking it to heart and being like, okay, maybe I should fix this. Maybe I should work on it. If you literally need to stand in front of a mirror and be like, I look good today. I'm beautiful. Or I'm handsome. Whoever is listening.
Yeah.
Like, then do it. It's not embarrassing. Exactly. Again, you're also by yourself. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But, like, the more work you put into yourself, the more you're going to be happy, and the more work, like, people are going to see that you work on yourself. And that's, like a confidence booster for you, because people know that you're strong in yourself. So, like, you don't need the validation from other people being like, I don't look like this. I wish I looked like this. And then they're, like, annoyed. Like, they're not going to keep giving you what you want.
And you know why? Because why would you want to surround yourself with negative people? Like, those negative people aren't doing anything good for you, so why would someone want to be surrounded by someone that's negative? Because you're not helping them in any way. So, like, they can be your friend and, like, be there for you while you're going through this, but they're not going to want to stay your friend because you're doing nothing but being negative about yourself. And, like, that just does not put a good, impression on other people, because it's like, well, this person's negative about themselves, so that means they're probably negative about other people. That means they're probably negative about, like, every situation in their life. And that's just not someone that, like, some people want to hang around. So, literally stop. You should never be saying, like, I should, I can't, I have to do this, I need to do this. You should never be saying that, because it's just, like, what's the word I'm looking for? There's, like, a word I'm looking for.
It's like an insecurity kind of thing.
Yeah, those
it's
words,
obviously showing your insecurities coming out, but it's more like, it's kind of like embarrassing to hear someone be like so down on themselves because you know like that they're not, and the more they do it, you're like, well, like, come on, like, don't talk bad about yourself, because the more times you say it, then you're gonna keep believing it, and then other people are gonna believe it, and like she said, like, no one's gonna want to hang around someone who's so negative. Like, that doesn't make life fun. Life's supposed to be happy.
Exactly.
I don't know if like embarrassing is the best word to use, because I feel like it's kind of like controversial, but I don't know like a good word to put with like.
It's that, just like because it's not embarrassing. Yeah. Because that person's not like aware that it's like embarrassing them. I think it's more just like I like know what word you're thinking of, but I can't think of the word.
It's not embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It's more
Are
just
you trying
like,
to think of a word that like describes when they talk about themselves, or the impression other people get?
The impression other people get.
Sad?
It's
I
just
don't
like,
know. I feel like sad when I hear someone talk about themselves like that.
Because I want to help people, but it's so hard sometimes because people like that don't listen because they're so negative. And
that's
like,
true.
It's okay. It's not embarrassing. It's more.
I don't know the word. I really
can't
don't
think of it. I'm giving up. I'm not gonna think of it anymore.
I mean, I don't think there might not even be a word to describe it, really.
Yeah.
Because it's more like the person saying it, whoever's receiving it already knows that person's not willing in the moment to change the mindset. Yeah. So it's harder for the person to grasp the fact of that they're not willing, even though the other person receiving it knows they're not willing. So it's like, what's the point of trying to teach someone who's not teachable in the moment? Because if they're not willing to change, they won't change. Along with any other situation in life, if you're not willing to change, it'll never change. Say you're starting a workout plan or a diet. If you say, oh, I'll start tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes around and you're like, well, I wanted to have this piece of cake, so I'll start tomorrow. You're not willing to change because you don't have the discipline to do that, because you keep pushing it off. That's like the same thing. Like, if you keep saying, like, I'm so ugly and I'm so this and I'm so that, like, if you don't start to rewire your brain, it's never going to rewire itself.
Because these things do not just change overnight. Like, you can't just say, like, I want to be, like, I need to stop doing this. You can't just say that and it's going to happen. Yeah. You have to become aware of it. You have to be mentally smart to the point where, like, you're in your head, and then the second you start talking negative, you're like, stop, snap out of it. Yep. But you can't, because that's how you change, when you're aware of it. You can't change a problem that you're not aware of. Exactly. If you don't know it's there, because what are you changing? But, like, the words, anytime you say, I should have said this instead of this, or, like, I have to go to work, I need to be better. Anything like that, the more you say that, you're maybe not in the moment, but, like, subconsciously, you're making it a chore in a way. And that just, like, transforms your brain to be more negative. Yeah. Because you need to attract the more positive things. Like, yeah, I get to do this. I said what I said. Like, I did what was right. Things like that. And you have to stop regretting things. Because when you regret things, it's just such a...
It's like a stressor. It's unneeded stress that your body doesn't need.
So, like, things that happen for a reason. You can't say, like, I should have done this, because if you should have, then you would have. Exactly. And, like, if you are thinking, like,
or if you say, like, I can't do this. Yeah. It's not that you can't do it. You can't do it in the moment, but if you try and work yourself up to be able to do it, you can. Yeah. But that one thought in your mind saying, like, I can't do this, like, okay, then you can't. Like, exactly. You're putting it out into the universe. You're telling your brain literally that you can't do it, and your brain controls your whole body. So it'll make sure that you won't do it if you keep saying that. Exactly. It's like the worst way to think. And like another thing too, like with positive self-talk, which is like when we're saying like, oh, say these nice things about yourself, like think about it in a way of like you talking to your friend. You wouldn't look at your friend and be like, oh, yeah, I really wish you were skinnier. Or like, yeah, I really wish you were prettier. Like, no, you wouldn't. So, like, why do you say it to yourself?
Yeah, or like any loved one. Like, the way you talk to your parents is not Like, the way you talk to yourself is not how you would talk to your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Or the way you would talk to yourself is not how you would talk to someone you love.
Exactly.
You should love yourself to the point where you're talking to yourself like you love yourself. Because that's the only way to be better. And once you start, like, doing that, obviously it takes time. You can't just switch it. And obviously you're not going to believe it right away. You can't just believe it in a day. Mm-hmm. The more you do it, the more you're going to believe it. But it's going to take time, like months.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And also, like, if you also look around in, like, each relationship that you have and, like, you notice that they're not really doing well, like, maybe it's not a reflection of the other person, but it's a reflection of yourself. Because if you don't love yourself first, you can't show love to other people because you don't experience it, like, in, like, a independent way. Yeah. So, like, by not loving yourself and not showing yourself, like, the care and, like, I don't know, like, the niceness to yourself, like, how do you expect you to give that to other people when you can't even do it to yourself? Yeah, and I know, like, a lot of people are like, well, if I, like, get in a relationship, like, that person is gonna, like, make me love myself. Make me better. Make me love... Yeah. No. Mm-mm. No, it's like... You're gonna lose yourself so fast. If you're only at 50% of self-love and that person's at 50%, it's not a puzzle piece to where, boom, you both, like, make each other 100%. It's like, you have to be 100%, and they have to be 100%, so that way you can combine and, like, spark it in that way. Yeah. Like, you have to just love yourself so much, or else all your insecurities are going to rub out on other people. Mm-hmm. And it's going to dim everyone around you's spark, too. Exactly. And it's also not self-conceited to love yourself. It's not, like, egotistical. There's a difference between confident and ego. Mm-hmm. Obviously, pick the right one, which is confidence. But what she's saying, like, you can't be 50% and have another 50%. A relationship is not a puzzle piece. It's an addition to. Yeah. So having your life be fulfilled, all of your things, loving yourself, doing things that make you happy, then when you add the next person in your life, it's being able to do them with those people and not make the experience better in itself. Or else if just one person's 100 and say, like, one person's, like, 70, then that person that's at 70, the little insecurities that they have are going to come out and dim that other person. Mm-hmm. Like, it just doesn't work. Like, you have to be so confident in yourself, and to do that, you have to talk good to yourself. You can't be so negative on yourself. Yeah, exactly. And again, it takes time. Like, it's not going to be like all right, cool, I'm confident. Like, it doesn't work like that. And that's realistic, like, with anything that happens. But if you don't start to make the change now, then you're going to regret it in, like, a month. Exactly. When you could have already had that month to reflect and now be on to, like, a greater life that you're happy about and you love and, like, go on to meet these new experiences, because life is so short that if you keep waiting on all these things, like, what is the purpose of life then? Yeah, you can't just push things off and just say tomorrow. No, you have to start today. And also, like, when someone compliments you, I know, like, people that are insecure will be like, oh, stop, like, no. Oh when someone compliments you, literally take your hands and say thank you and, like, pull that compliment into you and just get used to that. Like, take the compliment and say thank you and, like, believe it. Exactly. Like, even if you don't in the moment. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. You don't have to believe it in the moment, but just take it, and the more you do that, you're going to start thinking that way. So then you'd be like, yeah, like, they were right. Like, I do have a nice smile. Like, I am nice to people. Like, I am generous. Like, the more you think it, say it, that will lead you to believing it. Yeah, exactly. And also, like, you don't need the validation from other people, too. Yeah. Like, you can get all these compliments, but, like she said, think it, say it, believe it. So you look in the mirror and tell yourself, like, I have a good smile. And then when people obviously compliment you, like, that's a good way to, like, reassure you. Yeah. But the reassurance should mostly come from yourself in the beginning. And then if people don't like you, if they say mean things about you, that's their loss. Yeah. Like, literally. They don't deserve to be in your life. They don't deserve to know you. And that shows the insecurity coming out from them, especially. And, like, when people compliment you, it's not someone being like, oh, I wish I looked like you. Like, saying, like, you're so pretty. It's not like them being like, oh, like, dang, I'm not pretty. No, it's like them giving you that gratification, and then they want you to accept it. But then when you're like, oh, no, I'm not. Like, what are they supposed to say? Like, that just makes it so awkward. Exactly. Like, you need to be like, yes, I am, thank you. Yeah. Obviously, don't say that. Then be like, damn, like, hey, okay. All right. Just, like... Yeah, I know. Like, don't be like that person. Just say thank you. Like, I appreciate it. That's the difference between egotistical and confident. Saying, like, yeah, I know. Or, like, thank you, I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe give the compliment back. Like, push the love that you're getting out to someone new and have it be that domino ripple effect so that, like, I don't know, everyone's happy.
That's another thing. It's like, the more you show love to others, the more you're going to feel love too, because when you are, like, kind to other people and you make acts of kindness, you're going to feel like a better person. Mm-hmm. And over time, like, that will make you believe that you're a better person, believe it or not. Like,
exactly.
The more you just, like, compliment other people and, like, do things to help someone else, like, you're gonna be like, I'm a really good person, actually. Mm-hmm. Like, I have all these features about me that, like, are really good. Maybe I'm not that, like, confident and secure in, like, my looks yet, but, like, I'm working on it, and, like, I'm a good person, so it evens out, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And also, like, doing good things builds your character and, like, shows who you are, and then that can bring out more qualities of you that you never knew you had. Like, I don't know, like, doing, like, a good deed of the day. Like, I love doing this, especially at work, because I work in customer service. So, like, when I see customers and talk to them, like, I always want to do something that leaves them with a lasting impression of, like, aw, she was nice. Or, like, now I'm going to have a better day because blah, blah, blah. Or, like, be intentional with your conversations. Like, insecurity can come out in conversations where if you're not giving 100%, if you're not talking, if you're not wanting to know about the other person, they're not going to want to know about you. Because everyone wants to talk about themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
So when it's 50-50, like, that makes someone else feel good, and then once you leave that conversation, with any conversation you have, you should leave feeling refreshed and, like, regenerated, like, yes, that was a great conversation, like, now I'm gonna have a good day. Like, that was great.
Yeah, if you're only just talking about yourself and, like, fishing for compliments, no one's gonna want to talk to you.
Yeah, and it gets annoying.
Yeah.
And, like, in the nicest way possible, it really is just annoying. But that'll also, like, lessen the security of your insecurity.
Yeah.
So, like, when you're saying, like, all these things and then you realize someone doesn't want to talk to you anymore, they're starting to get annoyed or frustrated, like, then you're going to think about, like, oh, now they hate me. Like, now that's another thing to think about. Like,
exactly.
No. Switch the mindset in the beginning so you don't have two things to think about and then you just have nothing to think about.
And then you're just happy and you love yourself and
then life's good.
Exactly. I mean, we all start somewhere. Like, I used to talk down to myself a lot, too. Like, I'd be like, I'm way too skinny. Like, no one likes me. Like, I have an ugly nose. Like, my hair's so thin. Like, I used to talk that kind of stuff to myself. And, like, now I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, no. Why would I say those things to myself? It made me believe it. So, like, sometimes I still believe it, but I don't say it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the thought will come up in my head. I'm like, shut up. Like, literally shut up. Yeah. You know that's not you.
Or if we're together, we're both just like, stop it.
Like, stop.
Yeah. Oh my, that was so valid, girl.
Stop.
But
it's so true.
Yeah. And also, like, another thing, like, of course everyone's gonna have those thoughts. Like, I've had them too before, but looking back now, looking at the mindset that I had when I was thinking those thoughts, 180 from right now.
Yeah.
And I was not happy during that. Like, when I would say these negative things, like, I know I was in a bad mindset because every single day, every thought would be negative, or, like, on the outside, like, around people, I'd be, like, happy, positive, whatever, but still have those little bit of insecurity conversations, and then, like, alone, all the thoughts go in your head. But then once you start to switch your mindset and you have these good conversations and everything's going out, that's really good, and then everything you're retaining is good, you don't think the negative thoughts as much. Yes, they still might be there, but they're not the topic of discussion every time.
Exactly. And then the less they're there, like, it'll slowly just go away. And then you'll just slowly become a more happy person. And like we said, it's not going to happen right away. Like, it's not just a turnaround in a week.
Oh,
like, it takes, like, it probably took me, like, 6 months. Like, it takes a long time.
If not a year or two. Like, life, it's crazy how quickly life moves. Like, how we were talking in the beginning of the episode is that, like, this period of life is so rapid. Like, bills are coming, moving out is coming, like, college is ending, like, new friends, new relationships, all these things. And, like, the same thing with, like, your life, like, it'll come quicker than you realize. Like, in the moment, like, falling in love with the process of being okay and, like, working on yourself and being willing to work on yourself and get, like, have the hard conversations with yourself will make the end result so much better. And you won't even realize it coming when it happens. Like, it'll just happen. You won't know it.
And not only just falling in love with yourself, but, like, if you're religious or anything, falling in love with your spiritual God. Like,
for sure.
Because that, your God, whoever, made you in their image,
Mm-hmm.
which is so perfect in his eyes. So you should believe that as well. Like,
Exactly.
you are so perfect. You are his children, and he loves you.
Yeah,
and we love
regardless of any, like, spiritual being that you believe in, or if it's
Yeah.
God or anyone, like, you wouldn't look at God and be like, why did you make me so ugly? Or you wouldn't look at God and be like, you are so blah, blah, blah. Like, you wouldn't say that to someone who's so perfectly made, who made you perfectly in his eyes.
Yeah, and even if you do, I mean, some people probably do say that. Like, when you are saying that, like, that's rude. Straight up rude. That's like saying to your parents, like, why did you make me like this? Like, I'm so ugly. That's calling them ugly.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah, that's very true.
That's just rude. You don't talk to people like that. So stop talking to yourself.
Talking down on yourself talks down on other people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So please just stop being negative about yourself and just start making little transitions. Like, even if it's just one thought at a time.
Yeah.
Like, think of one thing that day. Be like, you know what? Today, all I'm going to think about is I love my smile. Or, like, something you're insecure about. Take that little thing and just focus on that a day. And then maybe the next day do something else. And then just over time, just keep doing it. You'll be happy. Promise, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, and the more you say it, the more you think it, you say it, you believe it, and you are what you say you are. So keep that in mind for when you're talking to yourself, talking to other people, and just going through it with your day-to-day life. Like, it'll take time, like we said. Nothing comes easy in this life. Literally nothing comes easy.
Literally nothing.
But I hope you guys had something to take away from this episode and really take it to heart, because I don't like to talk about this topic lightly. I really do think it's something that everybody should be told, and even if you don't want to listen to it, I want you to hear it, because it's something that will impact you for the rest of your life. Any relationship you have in life, any friendship, any family connection, literally everything starts with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But if you guys did love this episode, and maybe this episode made you think of someone, send this episode to them so that they can hear it too, because maybe they don't listen to you or whatever. It'll help them out. So send this to someone, share it to your stories, and we just really hope this helped you out.
Yeah, so we hope you guys enjoy. We'll see you next Friday for our weekly episodes.
7 a.m. Don't be late.
Bye, guys.
All right, we love you all. Bye.
Was that good?
Wait,